Every Day is Growth with Fortune, and I have here with me one of the best of the best, Mr. Bob. And today we're going to be having another conversation that is going to be around growth, and it's going to be for people who are in emotion of building something, maybe a business or whatever it is. You should do well to watch this episode because I'm sure it's going to do well in your journey. Um, Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Fortune.
I mean, after a lot of conversations, we finally made it happen. It's
Yay.
really an honor. I don't take it for granted at all. I respect your time, respect everything about you. Okay, so let's go right into the conversation. Like I said, it's not an interview. So, okay, I'm just going to reference one post, one picture on your page.
Yeah.
So there was this picture of like you, there was the younger version of you,
Oh, yeah.
and you know where I'm going.
Yeah. I remember the
And
picture.
then the you right now. And I think in the caption you said something about the younger version being timid and you being more confident and whatnot.
Yeah.
So it just made me think like how does someone go from hiding
Hmm.
into being visible? Like what changed? What changed in your mindset? Because I don't believe it happened overnight. So
That's right. That's right. Very good question. It also shows that you pay attention to details, so that's commendable.
yeah.
I think first off, I have to state that I haven't exactly ever been timid, right? I think like what I was trying to portray with that post was that okay, this younger me was less confident, right? This, more
Yeah.
confident, right? Because truthfully, I've never actually been a shy person. I've never been one to, like run away
Yeah.
from from attention and all of that. But there are things that the younger me had to learn, had to refine in order to become the person that I am today. To the main question, which is how can someone go from hiding to being visible? What I would say is that I think when you understand what's at stake, right, the responsibility will set in. One of my favorite quotes of late has been this quote by, I can't recall the guy again, but it says, there is no rest for a man that knows what he's capable of becoming.
I thought you were going to say no rest for the wicked.
I mean, Shasha, rest is no day for the wicked. But there's really no rest for the man that has seen the potential of what he can become. Because it will fight you, right? And even more so when you come to understand what's really at stake. If I do not do this, what's at stake? If I do this, what do I stand to gain? I think the responsibility begins to set in, and once that kicks in, I think the needed actions, the needed steps that you need to take would begin to, follow suit.
Do you have family? You say because you said you need to do certain things. So, you have children somewhere that you need to.
Interestingly, the way I build my life,
Okay.
right, the way I live my life right now, you see this ring I have on here?
Okay.
It's usually on this hand, right? Some people find it really weird how that I'm single, but yet would always have a ring on. In my head, it's like a mentality thing, right? I want to, like, I frame my mind to act and operate as if, I am responsible for a family. Do you get what I'm saying?
Okay.
I think it's also largely because I've grown up with people that are older than me, right? So in my space, everybody's actually thinking in terms of responsibility, family, so
Just trying to grow.
do you get what I'm saying? So I think that has, leaned on me too. But beyond even family, like when the weight of purpose hits you, you know that things are at stake, right?
Things to do.
Yeah, and you have to
Yeah.
match up, basically.
Okay. So this leads me to like another question. You know how they say hidden gems when they are uncovered there's this thing of joy.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at your life today, I mean, you've spoken about purpose, how you know that you have to just do certain things to be who you are right
Right.
now. So, when you look at your life, what were the potentials that were in you that just needed time to be uncovered?
I like you. You ask really intelligent questions.
Okay.
hmm. I mean, what I do right now is a large part of what I grew up loving and always had an inclination for. So my mom tells this story as a joke actually because she would use it to like throw me, just like vibes, right? She would say how when I was much younger, I would not wear a short or a trouser that doesn't have two pockets.
I think
Like
I
if
saw
they
that picture.
yeah, you did right. Yeah, that's one. There are a lot. I feel like I need to go back home and search those cupboards to bring my pictures because,
Yes.
bro,
Right from
the
time.
swagger was mad. I'm telling you, the swagger was mad. So she would say how I would cry and cry and cry if they wear me a short or pants that had, even if it's one pocket, because I would always want to put both hands in the pocket and do guy.
You
Do you
did
get-
right from time.
I mean, so
Yeah.
so right from a very young age, I just
Yeah.
knew that like there's a way clothes make me feel. Like if I feel good, like when I dress well, I feel a certain type of way, and when I feel that way, it's like, do you get? I don't know. I was speaking to a friend about this thing lately, and he was saying how like that is the anointing, right? Yeah, like seriously, and it made so much sense. It's like that is the anointing. It's because you are operating in your space. Like what comes upon you when you feel that way is actually the anointing, and it made so much sense because I really cannot explain it. But if I'm in a good suit, a good outfit, I will step into a new
Doesn't
room.
matter what's
Do
going
you get what
on.
I'm saying? Like there's just something. So yeah, I've always been that guy, right? Also, when I was younger, I grew
Okay.
up. No, this would really tie into the story. I grew up
Yeah.
in a very large family. There are
Okay.
6 of us, right? I'm actually second to last, the last boy
Yeah.
actually. I was when I was much younger. I don't want to say I was, but like they would always call me restless. It was as if like I always wanted to do
Just
stuff.
do
Like I was
something.
just like I was never want to just be still. Interestingly, it's how I even
Motion.
know. I don't. Right. I've always been emotional. Right. Like also they would always call me. Like my mom would always be so angry because I'm not like being still, like always wanting to move and touch things.
Yeah.
Right. I would break things. Right. So they would call me like destructive elements. Like you're always destroying things, right? So
I
do
am
you know what I'm saying?
breaker.
Like I've always not I did use iron breaker. I've always I've always been touching things, breaking things. It's even how I got to know what it means to be reckless because there was one time when one of my siblings called me reckless, and then my other brother was saying he can be like reckless is used for drivers. He's restless, not
Yes.
reckless, because like that was just like all the phrases that they would use to attach to my name. It's always because like I don't know how to explain it, but there's just been this curiosity. Like I've always been trying to search things out. Like I know that if I put this and this, something can come. And I'm always trying to see what can come if you turn this thing this way, if you move this thing this way, if you put these two together. So right now, when I look back at it, it has just been that curiosity, that creative spirit that did not let me rest. Right. Now it makes sense. It makes sense because all those little details, all those little things
Yeah.
are adding up to the person that I am right now.
So you call yourself Bob. I've never for once called you Bob because
What
I
do you
just
call me?
Robert. Robert Owan. Did I pronounce his surname right?
Owen, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean when everybody's like Bob, 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 I just go back to Bob the Builder. And I think it's affiliated with you. So
Oh, yes.
you now tell me what inspired landing.
It's a very beautiful story. I think I've told it.
Go tell him again.
I will tell it again. Yeah, I've told it a couple of times. I like to tell it. actually. Interestingly, sadly as well, the person that named me just died. Really great guy, right? He died a couple of weeks ago. Sad news, but that's by the way. So I got the name Robert from my godfather, right? Very great guy, very,
Yeah.
established guy. Now, all Roberts are Bobs. It's this US thing where the pet names for the actual names are not exactly the the half part of the names.
Okay.
Like normally, the pet name for a Robert would have been Rob, right?
Yes.
But in US is Bob. The pet name for a Williams is Bill. They have that thing. The pet name for Edward is Ned, right? So that's how, like,
Yeah.
all Roberts are actually Bobs. And the guy who named me was fondly called Dr. Bob. But the reason I go by Bob is not because it's the pet name for all Roberts. It holds something deeper. It's actually an acronym that carries my life's philosophy. And that is that everything is possible for they that believe. Mark 9:13. Bob is actually B-O-B. That's based on belief.
Okay.
And my life is based on two beliefs. One, my belief in Christ. And secondly, my belief in the fact that everything is possible for they that believe.
Okay.
So that's how I'm Bob.
I'm going to get to this question about faith, but let's do growth questions first.
All
So
right.
what's like this habit that you had to let go of to be the person that you are now?
You're rocking my brain. Oh.
What's something, maybe a lifestyle that you had to let go of to
It's interesting that you talk about habits because one of my favorite books, Atomic Habits, right? There's something that James Clear said there that I think has really carried me on. And that is that we overly estimate the outcome of what one remarkable situation can give, but grossly underestimate the effect of doing the little things over and over again. So we might think that, I just need to get that one moment, that one opportunity, right? If I can get that, my life will change automatically. But we grossly underestimate the impact of doing the small stuff, the 1% daily. When I clocked that, I think my life changed basically because I went from always trying to chase that one moment to doing the daily things that require growth, the little things as waking up early, praying in the morning, going to the gym, right?
okay.
Structure, all those little stuff that might not look like anything, right? Those are the actual things that build the discipline, that builds the character, and that leads on into the results that, become what people see and celebrate. Yeah, so that paradigm shift is something I had to learn or something that had to happen, right? That really changed things for me.
So you're saying in essence that consistency is just key. Showing up is just key.
Constantly doing the right thing, because I mean, it doesn't matter how, yes, it doesn't matter how fast you are if you're in the wrong direction.
Because I feel like consistency is just a cliche word if it's not used in the right context.
Exactly.
Because everybody just wakes up in the morning. I mean, everybody's a creator now. Create that content. Show up every day. But you like this thing you've said now.
Yes.
Doing the right thing
Yes.
consistently is what's going to pay off. And I think that
It's very interesting because I saw a clip from a podcast yesterday. Ian Aboyeji, the founder of Flutterwave, and they're a really great guy, really respected guy in the tech industry. And he was saying how we have just become influencers. Like everyone is an influencer. And
get ready with me.
not even that. What he was basically saying was, we are all just performing. Like no one is building again, right? And he made reference to how, like, look at the guys that we celebrate today. Tinubu was governor far back as 30. He was already moving things. Peter Obi bought a bank at 25. Like he was referencing these guys that we celebrate. At 25, 30, they're already making moves. And it was like, look at everybody. Nobody's doing stuff again. Everybody is now an influencer because we are all just trying to look cute in front of the camera and just perform. And it really hits me because it's very easy to lose sight on what really matters and just do what everyone is doing because it seems cool, right? Yeah. So understanding exactly what you are supposed to be doing and actually doing that, pursuing purpose day after day, it's what makes all the difference, really.
Well, I'm going to ask another question about
Okay.
this whole fame thing.
Okay.
So, what do you think would cost a lot of people? What do you think it would cost people to become famous?
Well, I mean, a lot of people would say that they don't want to be famous. But if I would rephrase that and say, what would be the cost of actually being visible, right? And visible in the sense that the eyes that need to see you actually see you. The people that need to see you really see you. You find your own community or whatever it is for you. The cost of being that would be, this question was not as easy as I thought it was going to be. See how I ran already to answer it.
Do you think it will cost you? For me, I think fame sometimes costs you your actual personality. Like you now, based on belief, you already have this mindset that okay, my life. But once you're in the spotlight, and you're in the spotlight for something that people already know you for,
Yeah.
you might now want to shift from. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
I think I do. But I'm trying to see how that will apply to even myself. Because I mean, if you are rightly grounded, I think it all comes to, what exactly you are pursuing, right? Because if you get famous for the wrong thing, that is, or if you get famous being someone you are not, that is when there would be a disconnect. That you now have to be two people, or you now have to, play a certain character to fit a certain. Do you get? But if you're actually true to self, and that's what I was gonna say, the cost of actually being someone people admire would be that first you are true to self, right? Originality, right? Because at the end of the day, it's not really about having a lot of eyes on you. Personally, I believe that it is having the right eyes on you, right? Basically, even if you have a product, right, you have a target audience. You want to get that to the right market. If you are trying to build something, you want to find the market fit. If you want to, build on Instagram, you need the right community. So at the end of the day, it's finding the people that match what you are building or who you are becoming. And that is largely due to originality because you would be able to appeal to the people that you've been made for. If you are original, they can find something within you that they connect to, right? That is when you can actually get to the point where people actually admire you for what you are or who you are because they can see that connection, there's that originality. Of course, there is a lot more that goes into becoming someone that people admire because, there is the discipline part, the strength of character. But beyond all of that, I think it's largely due to originality, right? Because there's only one of you. You are one of one. When you understand that and start applying in your own direction, in your own path, right? I think consistently running that race, would get you would eventually, I believe, get to a point where the right eyes will find you. Does that make sense?
It does. Speaking of
Yeah.
originality, do you think people in this generation are being that? Because I mean, back in those days, nobody really cared about what you posted online, how many followers you have. There's just this shift. Do you think there's this rave or wave that happened that I don't know. I don't say this a little of Do you think there's something that happened in this generation that maybe has made people not be original, or do you think people are original?
Sincerely, yeah, and this is my opinion, right? I don't think that we are original as we can possibly be. And here's why, right? Take the average person online who wants to build
Yeah.
a platform, who wants to build a brand, a personal brand online, right? What they will tell you is that pick a niche. Like the information out there is pick a niche, right? How do you pick a niche? You find the things that you love, right? The next thing they will tell you, in order for you to build a platform and build it fast, look at what people that are in that niche are doing
Yeah.
and
Try to replicate
try
it.
to replicate it. I mean, of course, you can say, okay, you don't have to, like, there are no new ideas, and
Yeah.
you can pick here and refine, which is all good, right? But the truth is, not everyone knows even how to steal like an artist. Not everyone knows how to pick here, and refine. So what you see now is that everybody's just trying to do what is blowing, what is working, right? So you come in here, you see what people are doing that seems to be getting the attention. And since everyone wants attention, because I mean, it goes back to the whole thing where everybody's now influencer, right? Everybody wants to make it this content creator money, right? So you come in here, do what everyone is doing that seems to be working, right? Just because you also want to have attention on you. And that kills a lot of, originality. Because if we actually sat with ourselves, if we actually decided to build based off what what we have and what we can produce, right, we would begin to look inwards as opposed to looking outwards to what is working and trying to replicate it. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That is what even ties back to what Ian was saying.
Yeah.
How that, as opposed to becoming influencers, which is what we all want to be, we need to be builders. And when you begin to look inwards, you can then build from within. And all that has to go into that is the originality, the structure, and all of that.
Okay, so I asked Taylor King this question:
Yeah.
if people are building for impact or for visibility. I know you've touched on it like surface level, but let's go deeper. So, do you think people are building based on impact for future purposes, or they're just building for visibility?
This is a table I want to shake, Shao,
Okay.
because top of mind, I wanted to say, of course, there are few good people that are doing good work, right? Which we can say is impactful. But then again, if you really think about it, are you really trying to build impact, or you are just trying to do what you know that would appeal to people to bring eyes on you? Do you get what I'm saying? So because everybody is doing NGO, make me safe, I do NGO. Do you get? Because maybe that's where the money is, or do you get? So it defeats the whole purpose of trying to actually build for value, build for impact, because we are all just trying. It's all like a performance right now. Basically, that is what it is. Everyone is just trying to perform. And that is the problem. When we can kill
performance uprising.
There are a lot of things that have risen up that we need to look in the eye and start bending. Because when we can kill that performative spirit, because I too am guilty of this, if I'm being very honest, right? As opposed to creating, I get ideas, and I mean, this is not to say that everyone else do not, right? Ideas are there. Like, there are some that come to you 2 a.m., 5 a.m., like you have this very beautiful idea you want to shoot. But sometimes you are thinking, this might, this thing will blow. Like, will it fly? Like, will it kick? And then now you look at your guy that does one reel or one thing that works. Oh, this one had 10K views. Maybe I go do this one. Do you get what I'm saying? So do you get what I'm saying? It's all just a performance right now. Everyone is trying to be very performative because we want to actually blow and blow fast, get the deals, get for whatever reason it is. But yeah, I think a lot of people out there, right, are not really building for impact. I mean, there are a few good ones, right? But more than average to get just building for the sake of visibility. Yeah.
Okay. So has there ever been like a success part of you, like a successful part of you that you just know that this is not actually what I wanted for my life? Like it's happening right now, but it's not what you want. I don't know. It just doesn't align with God's purpose or something for you. Has there ever been something like that? I think there has been, Cha.
Of course, there have been a couple of them. I mean, one of the things that really guide my actions basically is being at the center of God's will for my life. Right? And with that mindset, one thing I understand is that if I would be in the center of God's will for my life, if I care about being in God's will for my life, then whatever does not please God cannot be God's will for me. So when I even judge deals, right, it is like, does this actually bring glory to God, right? Because there have been very good deals. Some time ago, there's this particular, and I'm not judging anyone who does it too. This is based off, personal convictions and stuff. There was this deal that came around wherein this underwear brand, right, actually wanted me to model their products, which is what I mean, men's underwear, right? And the idea was that, of course, you put the boxers on and do the post and all those kind of things, right? It looked like the deal looked really juicy, right? Because it was a foreign brand. The pictures on their feed, right, looked some type of way safe, but I mean that was even what gave me like, do you want me to now? What you want me make? I can't do be this. Do you get? So I mean, for someone else, it might not be that deep, right? I mean, men wear boxers. I'm just trying to, show you that or show you good products that you can have. Nothing too deep there. Do you get what I'm saying? But personally, there are things that I cannot just do. Do you get? Because it does not align with the faith I profess. It does not align with my convictions. Do you get? So it doesn't really matter how juicy it is. You'd have to come to terms with the fact that some things are not just for you based on the path that you've decided to take, and that's fine. That's fine, really.
So one more question regarding faith.
Okay.
So looking back, can you identify any season where God was maybe silent, but coming to this time now, you realize that He was shaping you?
2023.
Okay.
2023. Interestingly, that was when I moved to Abuja.
Okay.
Yeah, I moved to Abuja from Uyo. 2022. 2022 particularly, I made the most money I've ever made in my entire life. Yeah. Most people don't know this. I've told this story a bit on my page, but not in depth, right? I don't big since so. I don't know, like, not be like Mr. Like, I don't build brand before now. I've been an OG. I have a TikTok page that is actually still active, although it's private right now. It's at the peak of it had like over 90K followers, right? Of course, right now it has dropped because I haven't used that account in like what now, maybe 3 years. But at that time, I was building on TikTok, how to make money online, The whole idea was I talk about making money online, and then at the back end, I was being an affiliates, sell programs, courses, people buy, and then I make commissions. So I grew that platform, I grew that page. I had videos with millions of views, 1.3, 1.5. Far back as what now, 2022-ish, do you get? So 2022, I made lots of money, and the money was coming in fast because, there was a funnel, a video, link in bio, WhatsApp, you watch the webinar, you pay. So it was just like coming. The more the platform grew, the more people bought courses, the more they bought courses, the more commissions, the more money, right? 2023 was when my work with God actually started. Someone invited me to a church, CCI actually, CCIU. The inaugural service was January 15th, 2023. I attended that. And now, before then, right, I was actually looking for where to worship. For like the last year, which was 2022, I can really count how many times I went to church. Maybe no more than 3. That's because like I just knew that like I could feel God calling me into more, but I didn't know where to go to. Do you get? So when I was invited there, first service, I can still remember how it was for me. Really beautiful. I was like, who are these guys? Who are these people? Like, I love this, right? So I came again. And yeah, that's been the story. But midpoint into that journey, I think around March 2023, right? I began to lose interest in that business. Now, this is not because it was bad or there was anything wrong with the business, but I just knew and I could not explain that. I I cannot keep doing this. Like, I don't feel the energy to even like do this again. I could not explain it. Now it makes sense. Now I can, but then I could not. And to my siblings, they could not really understand me because like, oh God, what's wrong with you? This is making you money. Do you get lucky? Do you get? But then I just knew that it was just this dissatisfaction with the whole thing, right? So there was that phase where I packed that account, and just kept on building my relationship with God and all of that. But looking back, the whole thing makes sense, right? So before my work with God started, right, I've always had belief. Like I said, my life philosophy is basically believing everything is possible for they that believe. But before I knew God, the belief I had was in myself. I had a crazy amount of self-belief. I mean, I still do. But of course, I did not really have a relationship with God, so the belief was not in Him. I was what you call crazy delusional. Like, there was nothing I did not think I could do, right? So it led to this unhealthy sense of self, if that makes sense, right? And as a result of that, there was a lot of things that was bad. The ambitions I had, the reasons why I wanted to make money, they were all bad. Now, the business was not bad, but the mindset, the thinking was all bad. So when I came to Christ, that was like the first thing He had to work with. He had to refine my appetite, my mindset. He had to rid me of all of those things, strip me off. So I was basically stripped off. I did not really understand it, but that was what was going through. That was what was happening. I was going through the refiner's fire, right? When I look back, I see how it was all very important because, I had to go through that fire to actually have my motives, my ambition, my life philosophy actually in the right place. Do you get? I mean, right now, my like my like I go about my life knowing that God cannot mismanage it. In the center of God's will, like I cannot be in danger. Do you get? Nothing feels up. Do you get? And I'm more grounded. I'm more, I feel like, I've even done better. Like I'm doing better than I was back then. So all that was very important to make me into the person that I am today.
So we're bringing this to a close.
Okay.
So what's the like what's advice you've heard on this journey of
Hmm.
your growth?
Worst advice? That's a very good question, though. Worst advice?
It can't be like say at your age, mate.
I mean, there are lots of very bad advice out there. I'm trying to find the worst.
Anyone if you bring just
Worst advice? Wow, which one is the worst, safe? Let me give you an even better advice. Do you get? Contrary to what is out there, contrary to what you might have known, contrary to what might have happened in your life, don't do this life without Christ, though. Don't do life without God. Don't do life without God. Right? And, people have this, there's something that is very popular out there, right? And I also used to think it. I also used to believe it. How that, this God thing, Elon Musk, you can say, yes, now, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, should there be, well, I mean, I can't say, right? I don't know their personal beliefs. I'm just saying, okay, let me rephrase that. Some people would say that most guys that are well-to-do, successful, don't believe in God. Right?
Logic.
Do you get? So what now is the point? Truth is, for one, right, you don't really know what the people that you think are successful, people you think have made it, you don't know. You can make money is providing value. Like, you don't really need, like, if you follow principles, you would be wealthy. Right? The Bible even says he gives rain to both the sinner and the righteous. That one is settled. But when it comes to satisfaction, see, there is a God squared peg that only God can fill in the life of a man. So you can get to the top, you can achieve everything, but there will be a void in you that will lead to terrible dissatisfaction. And what you would even see happen is that most times, right, when you've grown and grown and grown and grown, and then you now find God, one of the things that you will see happen is that he will first start to strip you, do you get, of all those, mindset, all those beliefs. You might see that, some people that had made it big a long time ago, maybe when they now finally comes to God, they would have to become. I'm not saying that this is the common path. I'm just saying that, right, there is a dissatisfaction, there is something in you that only God can give. And most times you can seem to have made it all. But if you do not have that, Holy Spirit, help me now. If you don't have that thing that only God can give, right, you would just spend your whole life knowing that there's something missing, right? And most times when you even find it, when you even come to God, when you even find Christ, all the appetite for all those things that you've been building, you will lose it. So what is now then the point? It goes back to what the Bible says: if you gain the whole world and lose your soul, what is it again? Do you get? So the advice is simple: don't do life without God. You can't afford to do it. And even beyond our earthly life, right? There is an eternity that is there waiting for us, and that is as a result of what you believe, who you believe in, right? So let's say you coast through life, having it all. Is the eternity which really matters certain for you? That is like the most important thing at the end of the day. If you are all right but not right with God, what then is the point? Is that good advice?
It is.
It is, right? That's my advice too.
I mean, because even if you want to do life like your own way,
Yeah.
you see, wisdom comes from God.
Oh, yes.
Comes, like every single thing, consistency comes from God.
Yes.
So
yes.
it's still like the main source of every single thing. So do you have like any parting words before we bring this like to a close?
Any parting words?
Yeah.
A moving man will meet his luck. I mean, it's very cliche right now, but truly, a moving man will meet his luck, right? if you are actually building, it might be slow, it might not be as pleasant to the eyes as what is out there, but keep building. Keep building. Keep being emotion. Stay emotion. Let's wake up every day and give it the 1%. Like, do your 1%. Give it 100% too, but do the 1%. Do you get what I'm saying? Give it your all, right? But try to ensure that those little things that might not look as much, you are actually sweating it out. Do you get? And just stay rolling. Just stay rolling. Just stay rolling. A movie man will really meet his luck. Right? It is so easy to, do what seems to be the happening stuff in order for you to just like
hit the jack,
blow quickly. But yeah, if you're actually building, right? If you are building for impact, if you're building something, if you're building from a place of purpose, just stay building. Just stay building. Just stay building. Yeah. Build like Bob.
Thank you so much for this insightful conversation.
Thank you, Fortune, for having me.
It felt like it was you're interviewing for a job, but you see, it was not.
Really?
No, it was not.
Okay. I felt. Oh yeah.
It was not as hard as.
Yeah, it was a good chat. It was a good chat.
I'm just going to go away with one thing. I should keep building.
Yeah.
Keep building. So that's going to be in my head. I'm sure it's going to be in the head of it's going to be stuck in the minds of people that
I hope
watching.
so. I hope so.
To you watching, please subscribe, follow for more, and stay close to the channel.
Hi guys, it's Mr. Bob here. So yeah, I just had a very interesting conversation with Fortune. Do well to, check it out when it's out. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on other amazing sessions with other very great people. And keep building.